What's up, fight fans? Welcome to Mr. Mustache MMA News. Today, I want to discuss this Saturday's fight between Naimov versus Mairon Santos this Saturday, UFC 323. But guys, before we get into it, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to continue getting more MMA content by yours truly. Help the channel grow. All right, guys, getting right into it. We got a fun one. Two guys who like to really go for the finish, have knockout power. You got Mairon, Ultimate Fighter winner, burst onto the UFC scene, with the knockout victory over Khan Ulfi to get the Ultimate Fighter victory in the finale. Followed it up with a split decision victory over Francis Marshall in a fight where he had to dig deep. I remember thinking Francis Marshall won the fight. But Mairon in that fight, he got dropped. He had to battle. It was tough, right? And in a fight where he got his hand raised, it wasn't without controversy. But he was able to kind of come back a couple months later and get a solid victory over UFC veteran Sadiq Youssef. Kind of put himself back into a good spot. Took the summer off. Now we see him coming back against, a veteran, a dangerous fighter in Naimov. But Santos, who's big for the weight class, he's thick, he's wide, broad, really good counter striker, has a really good ability of kind of drawing his opponents in and kind of just leading them into their own demise, but also has a penchant of kind of leaving his chin up when he steps back, because he has like this bounce to his step, and a lot of times when he kind of moves out of range, kind of leaves his chin up, and we saw that against Francis Marshall. But a lot of power, natural athletic ability, only 24 years old, I think 16-1, 16-0. Got a solid record, a lot of experience for his young age. And here against Naimov, a guy who fast, strong, explosive, a good, first 5-minute fighter, has a habit of slowing down towards the end of his fights. But he, burst onto the UFC scene with a solid knockout victory over Jamie Mullarkey in a fight where I thought the stoppage was a little early. But he did drop him, did hurt him, and was following up on the ground when the ref stopped it. But after that fight, he fought Nathaniel Wood in a fight where it was close early on. But as you saw Naimov start to fade, you saw him start pulling a lot of dirty tricks in that fight just to keep himself ahead and to pull away. And at the end of the fight, when Wood dropped him in the closing seconds, fucking Naimov put his fingers in his glove to kind of stop him from hitting him on the ground. Just a dirty fighter all around. Lots of talent, lots of power, good stand-up, pressure fighter. I just don't like his tactics. I don't like his mindset. And I think, when you fight these guys who are more... Like, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, right? But it's not... Those tricks aren't always going to work. And as time gets on, you'll get exposed. Points will be taken away. Referees will understand what you're doing. But I think here against Mairon Santos, I think he has such a natural athletic ability. This kid really has a potential of being, I don't know if like championship quality, but definitely, ranked quality. I can see this guy by the time he's 28 years old being, top 10 guy. It just all really... I think confidence is a big thing with Santos, but I think his counter-striking here is probably what's going to lead him to victory if he does get the victory. But Naimov is dangerous too. He's got a lot of power. I can see him dropping Santos. But at the end of the day, I'm picking Mairon. I think he's going to get the job done over Naimov. I just think that Mairon, I think he's just naturally gifted, athletic, explosive. And I think all those tools physically are going to be what the key is for him to get his hand raised this Saturday. All right, guys, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Who do you guys have in this fight? Do you have Mairon? Do you guys have Naimov? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. But that's going to do it for today, guys. Mr. Mustache, MMA News out. Let's fucking go, fight fans.